Hello everyone, Shroomraver here, and today I have my week 3 game from season 5 of the CCL. Yes, indeed. Now, at this point in the season, 2 games down, we are 0-2 at a differential of -4. It is not looking good, it's not a great start to the season, but we always live in hope. You know, last season of the PPL, we started our first 2 games with 2 losses, and then we got a win the next time, and then the season kind of went really badly. So we hope for the first part of this for this game, but not the second part. We're hoping for a win here. Not going to be an easy task. As you can see, we are up against the creator of this league, the one and only Joe, aka Swagilyph. A great guy. I personally am a massive fan of his. He's the one who invited me into the CCL fold in the first place, so always indebted to him for that. His links down in the description below. If you are not subscribed to him or following him and you are to me, what are you doing? Check this man out. His content is of the highest caliber and his narrations are quite frankly hilarious. Excuse me. So yes, Joe and the Pittsburgh Steelix. His squad consisted of, at the time, Silvally, Nihilego, what I believe at the time was Kuram Black is now Komodo, Alakazam, Starmie, I believe at the time, is now Decidueye, Keldeo, Alolan Muck, Mamoswine, Beware, Cofagrigus, and that Clefable. So, the team I decided to bring, I had got a choice scarfed Tapu Fini. Decided to bring it scarfed with some speed creeping going on there. We've got a Yachi Berry, Agility Thundurus with Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and Flash Cannon. We have got Zoroark is here for its first game, or Zoroark, or however you want to say it. It's a Focus Sash set. It is mostly physical, with Psycho Punch, Knockoff, U-Turn, and Focus Blast. We've got a physical Assault Vest Mew, nice and speedy, without Stab, because Rebel. We've got a special defensive Rapid Spinning, Wishing, Toxic, and Kamala. And we have got a Life Orb, 4 attacks Lucario. Now, Joe decided to bring to the party Mamoswine, Nihilego, Alolan Muck, Clefable, Silvally, and the Mantine. And once again, when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I may have made a bad decision here. You know, Nidoqueen has a really nice matchup. I didn't bring it. I thought, you know, whilst it has a good matchup against some of the stuff, I thought, like, you know, it's good against half his squad. The other half just provided a free sort of switch in or revenge switch in, and I didn't really want that to happen with Nidoqueen. I figured it would be sort of a switch in for some of his nice and powerful threats that actually didn't bring all that many of. So Nidoqueen would have been nice, but we're going to see what we can do here. So without further ado, let's get into the battle, see how things played out. So I'm going to be leading with my Mew. Joe, he chooses to lead with his Silvally, iPod Fish Dog, great name. Now, he is going to go for the parting shot, so I'm like, okay, Scarf Silvally, fair enough. And he is going to parting shot his way out of there and go into Clefable, which I'm rapidly and early realising I don't really have anything for. So I'm hoping it's not a nasty sort of setting up calm mindset as I go for Drain Punch and do nothing. So here I am just going to get rid of those leftovers. I'm going to go for the knockoff and just be like, okay, just don't be a calm mindset. Really don't want you to be a calm mindset. Please don't be he's a calm mindset. I'm like, okay, this has gone horribly wrong very quickly. Contingency. So I U-turn out of there just for the chip damage. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and directly threaten him by going into my Thundurus and hoping that will scare him in some way. And he goes for the Moonblast and does so much damage. I'm like, no, not about this life. So, I'm going to Volt Switch the hell on out once again, do a nice amount of chip to this guy, and just go into my Mew and hope to scare him out with the threat of maybe a Taunt or a Gunk Shot. The former of which I don't have, the latter I do. So he's going to go for Softball, get himself back up to full, but he doesn't want to take the risk with his Clefable. He knows it's very important. He's going to go into that Alolan Muck, potentially predicting the Gunk Shot, which is what I go for, and I don't do too much. But I know that a U-turn plus a close combat from Lucario will kill this thing, so I go for the U-turn, and completely space on the fact this thing now gets Pursuit, or possibly already did, but either way, it does huge damage. I'm like, ow, not a fan. But I know I can go into Lucario, and now something is going to take a big old hit. He does not really have switch-ins. I go for the close combat. As I say, he doesn't have switch-ins. He is just going to let that Alolan Muck go down, which is nice. Lucario gets himself a nice little KO there. Praise. And now in comes Mantine. I'm like, okay, I don't really want to stay in. I think I have the Thunder Punch, but he might have Wakana, and I need Lucario. So, gonna go into Kamala. I'm like, I can take hits from this thing all day, every day. They can't Toxic me. And Air Slash does too much because he's Life Orbed. I'm like, ow, Mean Fish is causing me too much grief here. But I'm like, okay, that didn't do all that much. Maybe I can take a Hydro Pump. Well, I can't take a Hydro Pump well. I'm like, again, ow, if you could kindly not, sir. So I'm going to Toxic him anyway. I realise, obviously, he's a very, very offensive Mantine. But a Toxic is pretty much going to be a nice way to wear this thing down. And maybe if he's offensive, he doesn't have Roost. So, with that in mind, I'm going to go into my Tapu. Now, Tapu can tank any hit from this guy, even if he is offensive. So the Hydro Pump's going to come in, still do 27%. And I'm like, still ow, right? Not a fan, particularly, of what's going on with this situation. So he is going to switch on out of there. He doesn't want to take a potential Hidden Power Electric, I guess. And he's going to go into his Nihilego. Very specially bulky. I intend to go for the Moonblast, which does the square root of Bugger All. And I get the special attack drop. And this is going to happen, like, a lot. I'm going to be getting a lot of drops here. Can't be denied. So, yeah. I'm going to switch on out of there. He's at minus special attack. I'm going to go into Kamala and hope to try and abuse that and get a Wish off at some point. But Joe is going to pull a switch of his own here, go into the Mantine once again. I'm like, ah, you son of a bitch, I can't deal with this thing. I'm at 44%. That's what Hydro Pump did to me last time. It's not a risk I want to take. So I'm going to switch on back out into my Tapu Fini to see what this Mantine is going to do, and he goes for the Roost. I'm like, ah, damn, that's not ideal. Because he can just now keep firing off hits. I obviously don't have recovery on this thing. I am scarfed. Not that he knows that just yet. So he's going to go into the Clefable. And I'm like, I don't like this thing. I go for the Moonblast. And I get another special attack drop. And as I say, it happens a lot. I get a lot of drops against Joe. It's unfortunate. It does happen. But I get more than my fair share. So I'm going to switch on out of there and go directly into Thundurus, knowing I can take a hit from him now that he's at -1 special attack. So he is going to soft-boiled up here, and he doesn't want to take me on with no boost, that's for sure. So he's going to go into the Mamoswine, and I'm just going to go for Flash Cannon and kind of nearly decimate it, and get a special defense drop. That one doesn't matter. I have a Yachi Berry, so I don't fear the Ice Shard, but either way, Joe's not going to go for it. He's going to let Mamoswine go down, and that is basically going to put me to 6-4, which is nice. So now in comes Silvally. I don't want to take a Tri-Attack from this thing. I am going to go into Kamala to see how well I can take these hits from the iPod Fish Dog, and the answer is not very well at all. But one of my main things now is to engineer a position where I can get in a threat safely. So knowing that he's going to be going for the Tri-Attacks, I'm going to go into Tapu Fini and get the Misty Terrain going with Misty Surge. So he goes for Tri-Attack. It does a bit of damage, but my main thing was not to take him on with Tapu Fini. It was to take him on with Lucario, because now he can go for Tri-Attack as much as he wants, but with the Misty Terrain up, he's not going to be able to status me. So there is my free switch into Lucario, and now he's got to let something else go. And the thing he's going to let go is going to be his Mantine, because as you can see, I go for close combat, but because he's offensive, that's going to do big damage and is a clean 2-hit KO from that range. So that's very nice indeed. Lucario is taking names, and down goes the Mantine, and at this point it is 6-3, and things are looking absolutely spectacular. I'm in a really nice position at this point. But now in comes the Silvally. He is scarfed. I'm at -2. I'm not going to want to stay in here and take this hit. So I'm going to go into my Kamala at this point as the sack job. You know, it's not taking any more hits from anything, and everything is going to outspeed it pretty much. So he's going to go for the Tri-Attack. He is going to take out my Kamala, and that's absolutely fine. I can deal with that. So the mist disappears from the battlefield. I'm going to go into my Tapu Fini, but it's at full health. It's not Tapu Fini at all. It is in fact my Zoroark, which was probably not my best play. I probably should have gone into Lucario, but either way, I'm going to go for the Focus Blast here on the Nihilego. It does not do much, but I'm pretty sure now that I'm mostly a physical Zoroark, I can take him on. So, going to go for the knockoff, get rid of that black sludge on there, and Joe, he's just going to get up his Stealth Rocks, which is a fairly nice play, and I go for a knockoff again, and that's going to take out the Nihilego. So, it is 5 against 2. Things are looking great. And this is where things are going to start looking not so great. I go for the U-turn, because I know that I need to get some initiative on this guy, but I can't go directly into Mew, which is basically my only thing to take this on. I have to go into Thundurus and try and go for Flash Cannons. I couldn't take the risk of him going for an attack there and me going into Mew and just dying, but he starts to set up the Calm Minds. And I'm going to go for Flash Cannon. I'm going to get a critical hit, which is nice, but it's all for naught really, because he is just going to go for Softballed here to try and get himself back up to health. And you'll know what's about to happen. We're going to have this happen. Basically, Joe is going to set up to +6. And there's very little I can do about it, because now he's at +1, my Mew is at very low health from that pursuit that happened earlier. So I'm already in the mindset where I can't just switch in Mew when he's at around 70%. I can't do it in case he just starts attacking, because he doesn't need to be at +6. But he is at the point where he can just do that now. He can just get there. I don't have any Steel Stab on my Lucario. The only way I can take this thing out is with a crit Flash Cannon, or if, God forbid, he's not as defensive as he might be, and I can take him out with a Gunk Shot with Mew. So this is going to play itself out until he gets to +6, basically. It's going to be him going for Calm Minds, and me going for Flash Cannons, just hoping I can do something. I still can't take the risk of switching out. Maybe I could try and play mind games of when he's going to go for the softball or something, but I was in a bind, and I was kind of panicking. I was like, I was in such an amazing position in this game, and it's all sort of, it's running away from me. I was in a really sort of bad mindset when it came to this Clefable. So I am just going to keep going for Flash Cannon. In the chat, someone was like, in before Transform Mew. I was like, damn, I wish I'd thought of that, but I didn't. So yeah, I'm going to keep going Flash Cannons. I'm getting a lot of drops. I'm getting a lot of Spadef drops, but they're not helping me at this point. And yeah, he can literally just set his way all the way up to +6. I guess just in case I had Flash Cannon on Lucario is what he was looking for there. So now he is at full health. He's gonna go for a softball here, like it's gonna happen. And there it is. Now he is at +6 Calm Mind, and he has gone for full health. He's at as full health as he can be. I get another drop there, and he goes for Moonblast. And at this point, I have one hope, and that is, please Mew, do enough damage to the point where Lucario can take it out. Just do enough. Just do enough damage with Gunk Shot. Can I see anything? And I get a crit. And I'm going to pause it right there. That changes the game, obviously. That game was completely, absolutely, and utterly lost. And like, I do hope, Joe, that you do watch this, because it's difficult to explain away. I'm aware that Joe is like one of the most unlucky players that I've ever seen battle. Like, that's an undeniable fact. He gets far more than his fair share of bad luck, and that was so utterly game-changing. Now, I didn't apologise in the chat. I did say we both know that's bullshit. I didn't want to be the one who's like, oh, sorry for the hacks, because, you know, everyone knows we can't control it. But it was an absolutely game-changing moment. It turned the entire tide of the battle. He had that battle completely sewn up. There was nothing I could do. And yes, that crit completely changed the game. It's a 1v4 situation, spoiler alert, that wins me the game. I know that and completely understand that. Like, I've been on enough of a receiving end of that kind of bullshit crit in the last season of PPL to truly understand what must have been going through Joe's mind at that point. And I am sorry for the fact that it happened, because it's just, it is such a total amount of bullshit. Now, okay, yes, it can be argued that, you know, if you're going to spend that much time setting up, you're kind of inviting the crit. I personally don't subscribe to that view, you know, just because, yeah, you're giving it more time to happen, but it's not something you're inviting by setting up, I don't really think. It was a bullshit moment that happened at such a crucial time, and it was just such a crucial thing. And basically, it goes from a complete winning game for Joe to just a complete losing game, because as you can see, he's going to bring in Silver Valley. He is scarfed, yes, and I'm just going to let Mew go down here. And here I have a complete dirt moment. Like, I know he's scarfed. We all know he's scarfed. I'm still going to bring in Tapu Fini thinking, haha, I'm scarfed, I can go for damage on him. He outspeeds me and he's also scarfed. So down he goes. And, you know, despite the fact that I have now won this game when I probably shouldn't have, I'm still going to try my damnedest to choke it away, apparently, because I go into my Zoroark, who will easily take him out with Stab. With, you know, a knockoff Sucker Punch combo. I go for the Focus Blast. I don't know why I went for the Focus Blast. I had no reason to risk it. I could have just knocked off and suckered, but I didn't. But in the end, I hit the Focus Blast. I take him out with a knockoff, and that is going to be the game. So we get a 2-0 win. It's a win that leaves a bitter taste. It's not the way I would have chosen to win this game. It's not the way I would have wanted to win this game. And I hope that doesn't sound shallow and empty, because it is true. As I say, I've been on the receiving end of enough of that kind of bullshit hacks to know that it's such a shitty time to be battling. So to get it in your favour, you know, you take the wins where you can, but it's not the way that I would want to win a game. I don't think it's the way anyone really wants to win a game. So my sort of late apologies, and massive apologies at that, Joe, if you're watching this, for that, because yeah, that game was sewn up. Clefable had it, and one crit completely decided that match. There's no way, there's no two ways about it, there's no getting around it. So yeah, it is a win. It is a win that I'm thankful to have, no matter how it comes. So we do go into our next game at 1 and 2. We get our first win. We are 1 and 2 with a differential of -2. The next game, okay, well actually, next game should be against Nick, but due to unfortunate circumstances, he actually had to forfeit his Week 4 game. He's a very busy guy, I understand that. So our next game is actually going to be our Week 5 match, and that is against my good friend Baby Eric and Seattle Onyx. He's a good guy, we like him. That's going to be our next game, so look forward to that. But thank you very much for watching this one. I do hope you've enjoyed. Again, my apologies to Joe. His links, again, down in the description below. Do make sure you check them out. He's honestly, and this is a complete word of truth, he is honestly one of my favourite people on YouTube out there. I love his stuff, and if you haven't seen any of his stuff, trust me, you will too. So do make sure you check that out. But I am going to get out of here, so my final thank you to you all for watching, and I guess with that, I will see you next time. Laters.